Can I call you Rose? Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom. Can I call you Rose? Cause your fragrance takes over the
We were going to explore how English shapes our lives and connects to culture. So today we will be diving into a fascinating world of English and Singlish in Singapore. We will be talking about their attitudes towards the language, how they speak, and what means for their identity. I'm Maxine and today I'm with Kyle and Shamil.
Hey there. We're talking about language, culture, and how people in Singapore use both English and Singlish.
Absolutely. It's not just about language. It's about how people reflects who we are. In the case of Singapore, they have this amazing linguistic diversity that really shapes how people interact with each other.
Oh, right. So let's kick things off with the attitudes of the speakers in the video towards the English and Singlish. From what we saw, they are very positive about the both, especially in Singlish. Ina, bakit may tumitila? Oh, wait lang. Okay, tuloy-tuloy to. Ako na magkakat. Isa pa, take two, take two. Hey everyone, welcome to CMK channel. We were going to explore how language... Naririnig nyo ba yung tila ako ng manok?
Di naman.
Hindi.
Ang lakas. Wait lang. Last. Start from the top. Hey everyone, welcome to CMK channel. We were going to explore how language shapes our lives and connects us to culture. Today we will be diving into a fascinating world of English and Singlish in Singapore. We'll be talking about their attitudes, how they speak in the use of Singlish or English, and what it means for their identity. I'm Maxine and I'm with Kyle and Shamil.
Hey there. We're talking about language, culture, and how people in Singapore use both English and Singlish.
Absolutely. It's not just about language. It's about how language reflects who we are. In the case of Singapore, they have this amazing linguistic diversity that really shapes how people interact with each other.
Right. So let's kick off things with the attitudes the speaker in the video towards the English and Singlish. From what we saw, they're very positive about the both, especially in Singlish. They see it as a natural part of who they are and the important marker for their identity.
Yeah, the participants were proud of their accent and how Singlish reflects their Singaporean background. They view it not just as a casual way of speaking, but something deeply connected to their culture. And while they recognize that outsiders may struggle to understand Singlish, they accept it as something uniquely Singaporean.
Exactly. It's like they wear Singlish as a badge of honor. It's not about speaking proper English of all the time. It's about authenticity. They use it to connect with their culture and with each other, especially in informal settings.
Oh, so speaking of informal settings, there's a clear distinction between how they use the Singlish and the standard English, depending on the social context. In casual settings, they freely throw phrases like the la, man, and law. But when they shift to more formal context, they shift straightly to the standard English.
Absolutely. This social setting really influences how they speak. Singlish is part of their cultural identity, and in casual contexts, it's a way to express that. But in formal settings, they're expected to switch to standard English. It's all about fitting the social norms.
And don't forget the multi-language environment. Singapore is multicultural with Malay, Chinese, Tamil, and other languages. This influences the vocabulary and structure of Singlish. For instance, they might borrow terms of different languages like la from Malay and use them seamlessly in conversation.
Right. And influencing in other languages also impacts how they switch between the Singlish and the standard English. It's like they're having this flexibility in communication. Their comfort in these different linguistic worlds, giving them freedom to code switch depending on how they speak with or who they speak with.
Exactly. Comfort plays a huge role in how they communicate. In the video, the participants were much more confident when speaking Singlish. You could see it in their body language. They were relaxed, leaning in, and speaking with ease.
That's so true. The body language tells the story. When they speak Singlish, they're expressive and there's a natural flow of their conversation. But when they switch to standard English, it's a bit more formal. Their posture changes and there's more caution in their speech.
Oh, and that brings us to how their comfort level with English shows through their delivery. The participants on the video who are more at ease with speaking English casually with a natural rhythm. But when they shift to the standard English, it's more like they're measuring their words more carefully, speaking slower and sounding more serious.
It's a clear shift. You can almost feel the difference in their tone and delivery. Singlish is quick and relaxed, while standard English is slower and more deliberate. It's like they're switching between two different versions of themselves.
And I think that's key. When they speak Singlish, it's more them. There's a sense of pride and confidence. But when they switch to standard English, it's like they're more aware of how they're being perceived. There's a bit more self-consciousness.
Exactly. They were more than just judgment that may come from speaking Singlish, especially from non-Singaporeans. So sometimes they adjust, slow down, or even switch to the standard English to ensure the clarity when communicating with someone else.
And that's one of the challenges they face. Not everyone understands English, especially in global setting. It can lead to misunderstandings or the need for clarifications. They often have to switch to standard English or speak slower to avoid confusion.
But the flip side is that they feel proud of the flexibility of Singlish gives them. They can mix languages in a way that adds nuance and flavor to their communication. Words like kanla mean something much deeper than just of course. It's their way of expressing themselves in a unique, authentic manner.
So, in a way, they're not just speaking a language, so they're expressing their cultural identity. Their proficiency in English allows them to move between the different identities, but the Singlish is what really grounds them in their Singaporean heritage.
Right. And this dual language ability impacts their self-perception. Speaking Singlish helps them maintain their cultural pride, but they also recognize the importance of standard English for professional and international communication.
It's a balancing act. They understand the value of both languages in different contexts. They use Singlish to connect with each other and express their Singaporean identity. But they know when to switch to standard English to ensure clarity and formality.
Oh, it's fascinating to see how language can be such more powerful tool from both the personal and the cultural expression. So English and Singlish aren't just ways to communicate, but they're also a part of how these speakers see themselves and navigate the world.
Totally. Their ability to switch between these languages reflects not just linguistic flexibility, but cultural pride as well. It's a perfect example of how language shapes our interactions and identity.
Well said, Kyle. So that's all for today's conversation on English and Singlish in Singapore. It's amazing how language can reflect so much about who we are and where we came from.
Thanks for joining us. We will be back next time with more thoughts on language, culture, and identity.
Stay curious, everyone, and keep talking.
See you next time.